crazy when you hear someone is diagnosed with breast cancer, especially at the young age. So as shocking, I'm pretty sure it was for your family and friends, what was it like when you initially got that diagnosis?
Honestly, it was like the longest day of my life. Hands down, the longest day, the longest week, the longest month, but definitely the longest day of my life. I kind of just, everything stopped. Everything froze around me. I kind of just was in a daze for about 3 hours. And then once I actually came to, I called the doctor back because once she diagnosed me, my phone kind of like slipped out my hand.
Right.
And I was just,
Imagine.
yeah, a hot mess from there. But it was, yeah, it really was just like the longest day of my life. That's the only way I can describe it.
And they say when you, as a woman, you shouldn't get tested for breast cancer until you turn like 40. So what
Mm-hmm.
prompted you to, like, what was it? What prompted you to go get tested or to get tests ran?
So in June of 2019, I felt a lump, and I had discharge. So those are two of like the telltale signs that something is up. You need to go get a mammogram. So when I went in June, the doctor pretty much told me, you're too young. We're not going to do the mammogram. Although I went to like doctor's care and they refer you to the medical center.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, the doctor told me I should get a mammogram because she felt everything and decided, yeah, this is what we need to do. But the doctor at the medical center decided I was too young. They didn't want to go through with the mammogram. So they diagnosed me with a cyst, saying it was just a cyst, and they gave me antibiotics for it, and that it would go away in 10 days, right? That it would go away in 10 days. 10 days went by, it didn't go away. It gradually got bigger. It felt kind of like, you remember those pink erasers from elementary school?
Yeah, the long ones.
Yeah. So that's what it felt like. In November of 2019, I went again to the doctor and they said the same thing. Oh, it's just a cyst. We'll give you some antibiotics. I was like, I heard the same story in June. So took the antibiotics, nothing happened. Still felt like a small eraser in my chest. And I decided to go again in March. Once I got off work, I was getting undressed and my breast was the size of a mini watermelon. Like my veins were popping out, everything. So at that point, I kind of knew what was up. It just kind of like hit me like, okay, this is not a cyst. I already knew it wasn't a cyst, but now I need somebody else to confirm what I already see happening. And that's when I was diagnosed in April of this year.
But like, what made you persistent? Because a lot of times on Twitter and social media, you see horror stories from breast cancer to childbirth of doctors not listening to Black women. So
Right.
what made you be like, all right, no, y'all are listening to me?
Pretty much me knowing my body and knowing something is up. I'm the type of person, I know the slightest change that is happening to my body, whether I'm getting a cold or a fever or just as small as a runny nose. So something as big as my chest just changing size. Like if you go in a grocery store, you know how big a small watermelon is.
Right.
So that's just insane for it to be that size on my chest. So I was like, no, this is, somebody's going to listen.
Right. So
Period.
when you started going through the process and things like that, how important was it to have one, a support team from your family, your friends, but also a good medical staff? Because like this is something very personal, very life changing. So what was the support like with that?
Honestly, I would say the third time was definitely the charm in my situation. In my case, Dr. Jennifer Beatty in North Charleston. She was amazing. She knew immediately from the biopsy, from the mammogram, what was going on. I forgot how many years she's been doing her job, but she literally was an angel sent from God. Her, Dr. Belil, at Low Country Oncology, those two were like my angels on earth.
Oh, that's awesome. So like you're no longer diagnosed with breast cancer, correct?
Yes, I'm
Yes.
cancer free.
So congratulations, yay, when did you ring
Thank
the
you.
bell? When you rang the bell, I know, was that like a sigh of relief? Like what emotions were you going through when you were just like, this is the last day? Did you do chemo?
I did. I did
Okay.
8 rounds of chemo. So from May to August 11th. August 11th was my last day of chemo, and I also went through surgery. So I was cancer free as of September 2nd.
But for someone who may be unfamiliar, what is it like? What does it do to your body? And yeah.
So it's pretty much medicine that you receive through an IV. Some people do it every 2 weeks, some every 3 weeks, and I've heard as little as 4 sessions for some patients and as much as 32 sessions for some patients. But it's medicine that pretty much kills the cancer cells in your body. But the side effects of it is what a lot of people may have seen in movies or heard about through their own family members or them having it themselves. And that process was definitely a lot of prayer, a lot of sleep, a lot of tea, even though I don't drink tea. I don't like tea like that. But yeah, definitely a lot of prayer and fighting through. Going into each chemo session, I will always say my affirmations, write in my journal just to pass the time, but it definitely takes a toll on your body. But like I tell most people, this fight was about 70 to 80% mental, more than anything. It was more mental than physical. And I'm honestly just blessed and grateful that I won both of those battles.
You definitely did. I'm just so happy. And not only did you beat the battle, you kicked cancer's butt, but you became a Fenty, a survivor. So congratulations. What was that like?
Thank
First,
you.
like, so I'm a Fenty, I'm a part of the Fenty VIP membership. So
VIP.
it's nothing like strolling. And it's just like, wait, I know her. Like, I know, I've seen her. Wait, what's going on? So to see what was that process like to even team up with Fenty.
So I'm still in shock, to be honest.
Girl,
It's
you were all over
honestly
CNN. I was
surreal.
just like, okay.
Yeah, it's really surreal. I'm still in shock. What was it like? It was really fun. The whole process from getting the DM to getting the email, then the phone call started happening, and everything had to happen quickly because they wanted it out by a certain time. So they were on a time crunch. So I'm trying to think. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, it was fun, still shocking. And I just kind of knew I had to do a job. I was kind of in shock for about 2 weeks. Once I actually got the call and got all the information. And then after that, when time was leading up to doing the photo shoot, I'm like, okay, clearly I have a job to do. So let's get in
Right.
like go mode and get it done because
KKB faces, gotta beat these faces.
somebody needs to hear this story. So here we are.
Yes, and it was an awesome story. I listened to all three stories, and just to hear like how it all was the same with the kind of like with the medical attention. The doctor didn't really want to listen because you guys were so young. But I'm glad that you all were so persistent. Like I said, I don't want to hold you, but I really appreciate you taking the time. Once again, I am so happy. You are a breast cancer survivor. You're a savage survivor. You're a survivor, period. So
Thank you.
I'm really happy. Blessed that you're here. And also for anyone like who may be young and they may not know, what is a proper way to check to see if you have any lumps in your breast, or what do you advise people to do who may think I don't have, I'm too young for this? What suggestions would you give to them?
I definitely would say age does not matter. Age doesn't matter. Size doesn't matter. Your diet doesn't matter. But definitely be on top of your health. I have the phone in my hand right now, so I can't really demonstrate. But Google definitely has a lot of images of self breast exams that you can do. You can do it in the shower. You can do it while you're laying down, chilling. It really doesn't matter. But as long as at least once a month, twice a month, you definitely do a self breast exam for any lumps. If you see any changes in the nipple area or areola area, just make sure to keep watch or take note of it and seek answers. Pretty much. If you have any questions about your health, any questions about your well-being, and someone pushes you off, just go to the next person.
Absolutely. And where can the people find you, follow you? If they want to get their face beat, how can they get in contact with you?
So you can find me on Instagram at Nykia Breon. That's NYKIA BREON. My makeup page is also within Nykia Breon. It's KKB Faces. That's KKBFACES. And yeah, on Instagram.
Like I said, make sure you guys are aware of what's going on with your body. There's no limit to breast cancer, and make sure you are asking questions and don't take no for an answer. But once again, thank you so much, Nykia. I really appreciate it. Have a
Thank
good
you, Chris.
one.
I'm so happy to be speaking to you.
I'm excited. Thank you.